What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you a review of the Air Jordan 5 Retro in this Grape colorway. This marks the return of one of the original colorways of the Air Jordan 5 that first dropped back in 1990. The last time we saw this in OG form was back in 2013. However, there was a 2018 Energy release that paid homage to Will Smith and his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air character, but that version of the Grape 5s didn't have laces or lace holes, so it's been 12 years since we saw a proper retro of these Grape 5s. So these dropped on June 21st for $215 US or $270 here in Canada. These were available at most Air Jordan retailers, including the Closet Inc. here in Canada. The Closet Inc. is independently owned and operated, and they're a sneaker boutique based right here in Southern Ontario in Canada, and they're my go-to shop when it comes to Nikes and retro Jordans. And it seemed like there was a lot of pairs of these, and I feel like as of right now when I'm filming this video, some sizes are still available at retailers, and basically the resale for this shoe is non-existent, which is a great thing for Air Jordan 5 fans out there. And the official colorway for this shoe is white, grape ice, new emerald, and black. So the Grape 5s from 1990 was the only non-Bulls colorway of the Jordan 5 to release. And as you can see, the colors of this shoe just scream 90s. This mix of turquoise or teal with purple, this is just the color combination that we used to see everywhere back in the 90s. And while I'm more of a purist in that I like the Chicago colorways a little bit more, the Grape 5s are still undeniably iconic, so it's great to see them come back. And according to OG heads that actually have or had a pair of the original Grape 5s, these ones are supposed to be the most faithful or closest to the original look from 1990. So first things first, like most OG styled 5s, here we have this OG inspired box. So we have this black colored top lid with a red colored Jumpman, whereas the bottom half of the lid has this splatter finish to it in a mix of gray with black. So as for the shoe itself, jumping right into the details, the majority of the upper is crafted out of this white colored genuine leather. So this leather, while it's nothing amazing, it had a pretty decent feel to the touch. You run your fingers across it and you can kind of see the natural leather grains, even though there is a top layer of polyurethane on the top. So I thought this leather was a lot softer than, for example, the recently released Air Jordan 4 White Cements. Those ones feel a lot stiffer to the touch, whereas these ones have a bit more of a softer feel, more like your typical Jordan leather. One of the things I wanted to highlight about this retro, and one of the best things that they've done for this pair, is the overall shape of the toe box. So it's much closer to the look of the 1990s in that it has much more of this sloped, tapered look, and it doesn't have that bulky, boxy toe box that some of the past retros of Jordan 5s had. So hats off to the factory and hats off to Jordan brand for finally executing these toe boxes really, really well. And then covering the eyelets, we have these white colored TPU layers. And then underneath this on the mid panel of both sides of the shoe, like any other Jordan 5, we have this mesh layer here, and it's covered with this translucent netting on top for ventilation. Moving downwards, the top 4 eyelets again is covered in a layer of white TPU. And then next to this, you can see how it bulges outwards like any other typical Jordan 5. And then covering the bottom of the heel, we have another leather layer here, and we have Nike Air branding embroidered on the bottom in this teal color. In terms of laces, this pair only comes with one lace option, and they're a flat style white colored lace. They loop through this lace lock, which is crafted out of a translucent plastic, and the lock itself is colored in black, which is something that the originals wore back in 1990. Underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue is covered in this layer of translucent netting, just like we saw earlier on the side panels of the shoe. And then the top of the tongue is pretty well padded, and it's covered in this textile layer in purple, and we have this teal or emerald colored Jumpman embroidered in the center. The back of the tongue is covered in this emerald colored liner, and like any Jordan 5, we have this upside down Air Jordan tag. As far as the interior of the shoe goes, this is covered in a black colored liner, and like any other Jordan 5, the collar is done in this asymmetrical finish where it's lower on the lateral side and it sits higher up on the medial side. For the insoles, these come with a pretty well padded polyurethane foam insole. It's covered in this emerald colored finish on top, and we have Nike Air branding pressed onto the heel. So the upper of these Jordan 5s sits atop a polyurethane foam midsole, which is painted in a mix of black, purple, along with these emerald shark teeth on the forefoot. Encapsulated within this polyurethane midsole, we have Nike Air both underneath the forefoot, which is not visible, along with a visible air unit on the heel, and then turning the shoe over to the bottom. The outsole here is crafted out of black rubber on the very edge of the toe box, white in the center, And then in between this, we have these icy translucent pods with a visible Jumpman underneath this on the forefoot, and it has a herringbone style traction pattern as well. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Jordan 5s. And for those wondering about how these fit, to me, these actually ran a little bit roomy. So I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I wear between a 9.5 and a 10 in recent Jordan 5s. So unlike the black metallics, for example, where those ran more true to size, these ones I feel ran a little bit roomier. So I feel like if you like a really snug one-to-one fit, you can go a half size down. So in my case, the 9.5 fit me nicely in a snug way, but if you're someone that likes more room in your shoes, or if you're just someone that's kind of in between sizes and you just like more of a spacious toe box, then you'd probably be better off going true to size. But generally speaking, the Jordan 5 is decently wide foot friendly, so even if you have slightly wider feet and you like more of that snug fit, I feel like you could also go a half size down. To give you guys a point of comparison, so while I got these in a size 9.5, I wear a size 10 in most Air Jordan 3s and most Air Jordan 4s except for those that are like pinky toe crushers, then I'd have to go up to a 10.5. But other Jordan models I go true to size in, like the Jordan 1, Jordan 2. I just find that these Jordan 5s in particular ran a little bit roomier, so that's why I just prefer the half size down. Moving on to the comfort, so the Jordan 5 in general is okay from a comfort standpoint considering it's a shoe that dropped back in 1990. So I feel like it's more comfortable than a Jordan 4, for example, just because it's more wide foot friendly. The step-in comfort isn't anything crazy, there's not really too much to write home about, but it's not a shoe that I consider to be uncomfortable. I find Jordan 3s though to be more comfortable than the Jordan 5, but honestly for an everyday casual use sneaker, assuming you're not going to be putting in like 20,000 steps in these shoes, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality on these Grape 5s was not bad at all. Yes, it's not a super high quality cut of leather, but I thought for what they gave us, I really had no complaints. It's like your typical mass-produced Air Jordan materials, but you can tell that they use genuine leathers for the most part on this upper. The craftsmanship and the build on my particular pair I thought was fine as well. The panels were consistently sized and they weren't crooked. The stitch job was good and the paint job was solid as well. So all in all, for a retro that we've been properly waiting for 10 plus years, I think Jordan Brand did a really solid job for this release. So with all of that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, while I'm not the biggest fan of the Jordan 5 in general, I recognize the iconic nature of the Grape 5s, and I think waiting 12 years for this to properly retro again, I'm glad to see that Jordan Brand delivered a very high quality retro with an amazing shape, so I'm sure Jordan 5 purists out there are really happy with this end result. And while I think it's an amazing colorway, the silhouette itself isn't really something I can see myself rocking too much these days. You know, nowadays it's just much more about comfort, so a bulky shoe like this, I just can't see it being worn too much in my collection. If I was to keep this, it would probably be just sitting in a box and just a shoe that I'd wear once or twice max in a year. So I don't know how much that makes sense in terms of keeping this in my collection, but I have to admit it's a really well done retro. So leave your thoughts down below, let me know what do you guys think about these Grape 5s. For anyone watching, did you also pick up a pair for yourself? I know these weren't too hard to get, so I hope you didn't have to jump through too many hoops to secure a pair for yourself. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my social media accounts down below for you guys to follow me there as well. And as always, thank you for your continued love and support, and I'll catch everybody in my next video.